this was the final. I really wished it. I'm like, oh, why are they fighting in the semi-final? I was like, I so wished they were fighting in the final. But you know, I think it's an amazing fight. I don't know how the fight's going to go. I've watched them spar maybe 100 rounds in the past, and every single round was tasty. Every single round was like toe to toe. I think I've got loads of sparring footage of them sparring each other. They're really good. Both very good fights. This was when Chris was very young. I think George was George hired him as a sparring partner at that time. So George was kind of fighting for championship level, and Chris Eubank was just coming through. But even still, it was always competitive rounds. Always competitive. You know, Chris Eubank's always had a great engine, and George Groves has been a supreme boxer. So when you have the punch volume from Chris Eubank Jr. and the sharp shooting sniper style of George Groves, you're going to get yourself an absolute barnstormer, and I can't wait for January, February for that semi-final to take place.
I went with Eubank Jr. You know, at the start, and I don't like changing my mind, but I'm just sort of asking myself questions, thinking, you know, Groves is the bigger man. Groves has got the better jab. He's the bigger puncher. He's got the better pedigree, he's got the better wins, been in with the better opposition. So why, you know, should I just be going for Eubank Jr. alone on the fact that, I mean, he obviously, the speed lies with him, but he can't just be on his engine at that level. But I do believe Junior's improving time and time again, and I just see the second half of the fight swinging in Junior's favour, but I could end up looking silly and like, you know, Groves does, but I don't think anyone would have an easy night with Junior at any fight in the world. But he could win more convincing than what we all thought. But I'm going to stick with Junior. I'm not confident with it, but I'm going to go with Junior.
I don't really like to choose a winner, but I'm edging towards Eubank. His punch output, he throws a lot of punches. I feel like he's progressing as a fighter as well. And George Groves has suffered some losses that have brought him down a bit. Again, fights that he thought he'd won. He thought he won against Badu Jack. After that, he wasn't the same fighter. In his fight coming back again, he's won a world championship now. And I think it's entertainment, man. It's good for both fighters. And I'll tune in. I want to watch, you know, and it should be a good fight.
George is this camp is really firing on all cylinders. His fitness is unbelievable. See the circuits we've been doing, you know, the Tebbutt circuits, real cardio circuit, is proper leg burning and really like almost crying in pain with circuits. And I'm usually one of the tough ones on the running to get going on the sprint machine and that, but George is like sort of like 2-3 levels above me on the fitness this camp. He's really put it in. Punching a lot more bunches as well, and punching with real power in the sparring and stuff as well. I think it was just the other night there, he dropped his sparring partner really heavily, so he's looking really good. I think it's only going to be one way. I know it's a bit biased, obviously I'm in camp, but I think it's only going to go one way. I think it's got to be a Groves knockout, to be honest. George's engine's great, as I've just explained, in training there. He's outlasting me and all the running and all the circuits and things like that, and he's still able to go more. He's got plenty in the tank to go. He's throwing more punches than I've ever seen him before in the gym and on the pads. So if it's going to be a fast-paced fight, I've no worries that George's engine's going to fail him. You know, it's going to be brilliant. He's in great shape, but I don't think Eubank's going to come out and fight at a fast pace. I think he's going to be quite cagey and quite, you know, try and maybe outbox him a wee bit, but I don't think he's got any chance to outbox George. George is too big, too strong, and too smart, I think, boxing wise. So I can only see one way. I'd say probably about 6-7 rounds. Groves knockout.
I think George Groves could win it. See, with Eubank, if you get caught up in the hype of them, if you get caught up in their little bravado, that they're good and they're great and they're good and you're nobody and you're not on their level, then that can affect you. But I didn't get caught up in none of that. I had 6 weeks training for him, from being 14 stone to get to 11 stone 6, get fit, lose the weight, and boxing. And did I do the weight right? No. Was I 100% fit? No. But I got in his head. I did what he tries to do to people. And when you just block that out, because, you know, when they go on about this Illuminati and they go on about, you know, they believe in spiritual stuff, that's all rubbish.
Yeah.
Well, they just say that to get, you know, boxing's a big mind game, and they're good at mind games. But I believe that if George Groves can block that side out, concentrate on not holding his feet, doing what he did when he boxed James DeGALE, he can win. If he goes in there, thinks he can hold his feet, have a trade up and stand up, he won't. Like I said earlier, you're either an extremely good fighter or an extremely good boxer. Eubank is an extremely good fighter. He can't handle a boxer. So if you can box him, he'll win. If he goes in there and gets careless, he'll get beat.
I think Eubank has a lot of fitness and explosiveness, but George Groves has, I think he's fought in a better position. He has very good timing and a powerful jab. Eubank ain't really fought any big punches, 160 let alone 168. So, and George Groves is a very big puncher. So I think it's a pick 'em fight. I think, and you know, people really underestimate George Groves' jab, and he's done a lot of good work under Shane McGuigan. So it's just we just have to see, you know, we just have to see how that plans out and how Eubank can deal with Groves' jab and his right hand.
I don't care who wins. I think Groves will win, but it wouldn't surprise me if Eubank beats him. He's a bum, really, because he ain't boxed no one. He's famous. It's true what Groves says. He's insta famous. Like, he's going off all sparring stories and his dad's name. He's a pussy. He's an idiot, and Groves will probably knock him out.
I've got to lean towards George Groves. I lean towards him on it. I don't take too much out of Chris Eubank's last fight, because I think that was pretty much of a given that he'd stop the guy. It's one of those fights where you could pick either of them, but I think that George Groves' experience should see him through. For me, the problem that Chris Eubanks Jr. has is that he's easy to hit. You know, he throws a lot of shots, but he's stepping up to the plate. But also bear in mind, this is that George Groves picked him more or less by seeding. They seeded it as it was that George Groves would fight him, so they obviously fancied a job.
With Groves, he's tried, he's proved, he's tested. You know what he's about. So I think you've got to make Groves the favourite. I don't think the bookmakers, I don't think they've gone for Eubank, but I'm just talking about it from within as a boxing person. You've got to make Groves the favourite because of his resume. You've only got to look at it, but the names are there. So he's tried, he's proved, he's tested, he's won a genuine world title. So right now, you've got the proven and the tested against the prospects. And Eubanks is a great prospect. And he might turn out to go out there and it be a one-all race. But we don't know because we've never seen him do it at this level. So if he is the prospect that everyone's going to say, then he's going to rise to this fight and be comfortable in taking care of business against George Groves. But George Groves is an accomplished fighter, a quality fighter, an underrated fighter, who's proved himself at the highest level. So if I had £1 million and I had to bet it on someone, I'd bet on Groves.
It's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else